Hi, I'm Randy Ferguson. Welcome to Forward Focus Friday. Yesterday, after weeks of intense focus on our new LCA website, I proudly presented it to my brother and sister for their honest feedback. And I was so excited to finally have an online program that might really make a difference in people's lives. Well, as gently as they could, my siblings made it very clear that the site was not user-friendly and that major changes had to be made. And by the end of the call, I knew they were right, but I felt like I got hit by a truck. I mean, we're talking huge discouragement. So, after a couple of hours of YouTube and a chocolate chip muffin, I remembered one of our LCA tools, Mastery Over Discouragement. And I'd like to share this with you because it's so needed these days. Consider the possibility that discouragement is comprised of three primary emotions: anger, fear, and sadness. Anger shows up as frustration and irritability. Fear shows up as worry and stress, and sadness shows up as hopelessness and despondency. 30 years ago, an author by the name of Peter McWilliams wrote a best-selling book titled "Do It, Let's Get Off Our Butts." In it, he speaks of the power of reframing each of these primary emotions in ways that are downright liberating. He shares that anger, fear, and sadness are not implicitly negative emotions that, we constantly try to avoid. That in fact, each of these emotions actually has a significant gift to offer. He says the gift in anger is the energy to take constructive action. Have you ever been angry and boy, did that garage get cleaned? This is using anger constructively rather than destructively. Well, what would change if we held the emotion of anger as an energetic resource to handle our challenges? The gift in fear is the energy to do your best in a new situation. When we're afraid, doesn't our adrenal gland begin producing the very adrenaline needed to deal with the situation? Well, what would change if we held the emotion of fear as a physiological resource to do our very best? The gift in sadness is the energy of how much you care. You wouldn't be sad if you didn't care. You wouldn't care if you didn't love. What would change if we held the emotion of sadness as the emotional evidence of our caring commitment? Well, in my humanness, it took a little while, but eventually I shifted into a state of gratitude for straightforward feedback. Thank you, Brother Bill and Sister Jan, for the very information required to make our upcoming website much easier for people to navigate. Here's a quote from Oprah's wisdom. Challenges are gifts that force us to search for a new center of gravity. Don't fight them, just find a new way to stand. And speaking of Oprah, did you know that she asked my brother Bill to come and be on her show? It was for him to share about his book, How to Heal a Painful Relationship. So before you launch into a magnificent weekend, you might want to scroll down and read Bill's article, The Key to Resolving Disputes. It's really good. So have a magnificent weekend. See you soon. God bless.